Happy St. Patrick's Day. All right, welcome to the Grand River Woodturners. What month is it? March? March meeting. Hit record on that camera. All right. How many new members we have here today? Or guests, or whatever? 1, 2, 3. We have 3, 4, 5. We have lots of new members. 6. I know my dad's here somewhere, and we welcome all the new members to our group. We have, as a member, if you do join, you would need to talk to Steve. Steve's right back here. Raise your hand, Steve. He's in the corner. He's our membership person. Members, if you want to join our group, it's $25 for the year. With your membership, you get to partake in our show and tell, our supplies, which is a huge benefit over here. Roger does supplies on the break, and we've got shields, CA glue, we have anchor seal. Do you need jugs to put anchor seal in? I've got a whole bunch of them I've been saving. Yes? Okay, in all the anchor seals here that we would have, or you got it?
No, the little bit that we have left is here, but I'll be ordering.
Okay, all right. So yeah, I've got a bunch of jugs for that. So anyways, we have anchor seal. What other supplies do we have in there? We got a lot of supplies that are insert cutters, carbide cutters, things like that. They're hugely discounted from what you can get like at Woodcraft or online and stuff. So being a member, you do get to partake in all that. We have a library outside here that you can check out books and DVDs. If you want to check out a DVD and you don't have a player, we have a DVD player you can check out and take home. We're in the process of getting all of our VCR tapes transferred over to DVD, so we are no longer living in the 80s. We moved on into the 90s. So yeah, welcome, you know, and enjoy yourself, talk to people. I mean, that's my biggest benefit coming here is just talking to everybody about what they do and how they do it and stuff like that. Let's see, moving down the list, how about a treasury report, Jim?
Okay, I'll just give you the rundown here for year to date, and then I'll tell you what some oddball things that happened in the last month here. We actually have expenses so far year to date through February. This is only through February. $757, and mostly made up of supply costs. We spent $549 on getting some supplies for sale and selling over here. I think a lot of that was related to the face shields. And also what's that stuff called? The
Anchor seal.
Anchor seal, yeah. So it's a combination of those things. The rest of it's mostly hospitality, some administrative costs. I think some of that's, I'd have to go back and look at the details. There's not a lot of money there, but $125 for administrative. And of course, hospitality, about $57 for the year. On the income side of it, though, we've had about $510 in membership dues so far collected this year. Hospitality's collected $99,000, supplies $901. And raffle we took in $231. Now last month we received a large chunk of money from Ted Lover's estate. 2 checks actually made up. One was $3,000, one was about $1,600 for a total of $4,600. And with a combination of all of that, the bank balance now is at $11,735.
Thank you, Jim. How's that Rolls engine coming there? George, everybody still working on that Rolls engine? Do I need to take this off my agenda?
They got a light of fire under the backside.
Oh. Yeah, I want to see one get done and brought back in so we see there was a, and then I can take it off my list once I see one come back. And I know we finally completed it.
They're going to have to hurry up or I'm going to be dead.
Why don't I just bring mine over, you can finish mine off?
museum, they're always looking for wood turners to turn their antique lathe. I did it for a while, it was a lot of fun. You turn a lot of tops for kids. You're standing behind a glass wall, turning on a 1905 big old lathe that they got from a furniture factory. If you are interested in doing that, see Ken. Ken's does that, and he can get you hooked up. Or David Miller. David, you're still doing it too, right? So yeah, they'll tell you what fun it is, and it's you just work like a 3-hour day. It's you sign up for half a day, and it's once a week, so it's not a huge time-consuming thing. Festival.
Now,
Come on up to the mic.
all right. Festival. We have registered. We'll find out exactly what's what middle of next month. I hope to have that information for the meetings. I don't have the dates with me when everything, time frames are going to happen. Festival's going to be the first weekend of June, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, I believe, this year. We'll be setting up the night before. I've made registration sheets out like in the past for not only if you want to display. We are going to again this year ask if you want to display that you give us a $20 deposit, so to speak, just to make sure that we got a little bit going to carry everything through. We also found out it helps people stay committed. And that was one of the biggest problems we've had in the past. So, great opportunity for anybody that wants to get involved. We are going to be probably a little bit more limited. We have some things in works to purchase a tent to display in, so hopefully we won't lose too much space of what we had over the years, and we'll be able to accommodate anybody that we can. Please register right away so we know what we're working with. I don't want to say that we'll have to limit it to a certain amount of people. I'm really hoping we don't, but if we get a big response, we might have to cut back in some areas to accommodate what we can. Again, I have this stuff here for me. Please check your calendars. We're going to be looking for people to just come down and work the booth. Even if you're not displaying, if you got some time, want to come down. I have a schedule worked out for that. We'll be running normal time frames we had in the past. So basically, Friday is like noon to 9, Saturday 10 to 9, Sunday 10 to 5. I've split those shifts directly in half. The big thing we don't know how it's going to work out yet is set up and tear down at the end of each day. We'll be able to leave our stuff out there, but I don't know how secure our tent will be, winds kick up or something like that. So I don't think I want to leave the displays totally set up. So we may have to pack up some stuff and just leave them under the tables in totes. That's another thing you might want to consider if you're going to display this year, is that you get your stuff down in some type of watertight tote so we can throw them in there after for the evenings just in case something happens. Okay, but again, we need to move on this quick. Everything was pushed back because of trying to figure out how it was all going to work. So once we get the okay that we're ready and going to go, it's all going to happen fast. We're going to have to put it together in for a little less time than we have in the past. So, okay?
How big a tent are you working with?
We hope to do a 10 by 20. So it'll be about the same area as what we had. Give or take a little, how we can lay out the inside.
Yeah, and if it's raining, that'll make a difference on how much room we have inside.
Weather's going to be a big factor with a small tent like that. Where before we had the luxury of taking up the space, spill it out into the aisles a little bit, I know. We will be a little bit more restricted this year.
I've got a 10 by 20 if you want to use it. It's great road, side road.
We can talk later. We can talk later. Okay? Okay, well, we can talk later. So, but right now we need to figure out who's going to be participating, get that rolling. One other thing while I have a microphone.
Go ahead.
I just got registrations in the mail for Maker's Fair again. We've done that the last, I think, 3 years. I've talked to John. Looks like that we'll probably pursue this again. That's going to be the 3rd weekend in August. And we'll probably bring one of our lathes down there again and do some demonstrations. So keep that in the back of your mind. I'm not going to get too far into that one, other than I probably will register us to have the lady down there and also display. So down the road there, we'll be looking for people to maybe do some shifts as a demonstrator. That's going to be a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday. All right? See me at the break, and we'll get you down on the lists, okay?
We have some empty chairs here. If you guys want to sit down, do you need 2 chairs together? Are you guys a team? No? There's one chair right up front here. There's one chair next to Dave here. If you want to sit down, there's a chair in the back there. So we have, yeah, go ahead and walk in front of us. We don't care. Yeah.
Go ahead. Thank you. Around the horn. Thanks, guys.
When you, if you are walking to the front, try not to walk down this side. There's lots of cables, and we've already had a trip this morning. So there's an aisle up the middle, and I think there's room on the far side there if you have to get from front to the back of the room. Back to the festival. The one thing with festival, if you sign up to show, we really need you to sign up to sell your stuff. We really need you to commit to that and bring your stuff down. Last year we had people sign up, and we had a couple not show up, and we end up with 6 foot of table with nothing on it. You know, so of course we all have enough stuff to fill that up, so but we had to come back and bring things in the next day and fill it up. It's nice if you sign up, and it's a great opportunity. If you're thinking about selling your stuff and you don't know how it's going to go, this is a great opportunity to give it a shot. You know, see if you enjoy selling your stuff, if it works well for you or not. You know, without actually do a regular show on your own. You know, you got to have a tent and booth and tables and things like that. And this is a great way to see if that works for you. Question?
For those of us who are new, what are the 2 things you guys are talking about?
I'm sorry, yeah. Festival is the Festival of the Arts. Grand Rapids Festival of the Arts is the first weekend of June.
Thank you.
And they have not only, a lot of people know there's food down there, all the ethnic foods are down there from the local churches, but there's also a sales tent.
Okay.
And they also have an art competition. And they also are this year going to have a demonstration tent, right, Fred? Fred's going to talk about that now. So this is all still festival. There's lots of things that we're involved with 3 areas of that.
I'm really excited about this part of festival because I've been pushing for a number of years to bring back the demonstrations. That's the first place I ever saw stone lithography was at a festival demonstration, and I'm also, besides being a woodturner, I'm a printmaker. We're bringing back the demonstrations tent, or creating a demonstrations tent this year. And I've already talked to Doug, and we've decided that we're going to have 2 hours a day for woodturners. Now, I have a pretty good belief that the woodturners are going to get in the sales part because my wife is in charge of that tent. So, and I'm on the jury committee, so that's 2 votes right there. At least it better be 2 votes. So, anyway, what we're going to do is the club is going to bring down a lathe, and hopefully we'll schedule you, if you're going to be coming down to work, we can schedule you to do a demonstration. Now, we have demonstration times of half hour, 45 minutes, and an hour. And we can block together 2 hours if we want to do something, but that's something you're going to have to organize within your group, the group that's going to be down there selling stuff. Nothing really big, because we just don't have room for or we don't want to bring a big lathe down, simply because it's too much work. So we'll work out the details on what you're going to have there. But I would really like to see, because I'm a woodturner, I would really like to see a lot of wood turning at festival. And on that note, you received, if you're on the email list, you received a link to the festival entry form for the Regional Arts Competition and Exhibition. I would also like to see a lot of wood turning entered there, and I don't see Jeff here today, but Jeff Grill He's
in Italy.
oh, that's right, he's in Italy.
Oh.
Jeff Grill is the 3D juror for the festival show. So we got a little in there for wood turning, and we've already had a discussion about how we're in this group because we want to see wood turning, the whole concept spread. And one way to do that is through arts competitions. Wood turning hasn't traditionally been a big item in art shows, but we've been trying for a long time with the festival to get more people to enter. So here's your opportunity. You can go to the festival website. You got the link. If you didn't, just go to festivalgr.org and go up to the arts competition. So, and you can also sign up if you want on your own outside of whatever we work out with the guild here. You can send me an email at demos@festivalgr.org with a little description of what you might want to do. Because you might want to do something other than wood turning as a demonstration. And we're working on everything we can get. Thanks.
Okay, what was I going to say? Now I got a blank there or something I was going to add to that. We are looking for a volunteer to work with Fred on getting the lathe down there and be in charge of that. Me and Ken, we're really tied up with the sales part of it because we have to bring down a bunch of tables and lights and all kinds of stuff. Well, it won't be lights. We have no electricity, but anyways, we're really tied up with that. So we need someone to volunteer who will head up that portion of it. I think finding the turners will be really easy because I think we're going to work on scheduling our time blocks at the tent to be right around the times that we have a time change on our schedule for the sales tent. So you'll be able to, I think people who are working the tent will be able to get done and say, hey, yeah, I'll walk down there and I'll turn for an hour or half an hour or something. So I think it'll be easy. Yeah, Fred?
And we can send a truck to get the lathe.
Okay.
We just have to have somebody, to facilitate it here.
Yeah.
And to bring it back.
And to bring it back and help with the scheduling. So if somebody we're looking for a volunteer. Somebody or two people that want to volunteer to help coordinate that part of it, we would really appreciate it. If you're interested, see me on the break or see Fred, and we'll try to get you set up there on that. With the region, the festival stuff, I have like one copy of the regional arts. If somebody didn't get the email, we did send it out to everybody on our email list, and we'll probably send it out again. So, but if you didn't get it and you want it, I got one copy here you can have. Ron's hands-on retreat. Ron is not here today because he's at a show, I think, somewhere, Arizona or something. But he wanted me to talk about his hands-on retreat is the 26th to the 29th. Ron Campbell is one of our members. He has a place up here by Greenville, and he does a 3-day hands-on retreat with a whole bunch of turners, and he's got a whole bunch of them lined up coming in. If you're interested in going to his retreat, it's $125 before May 15th. After May 15th, it's $150. And he does not budge on that, because last year I came to him about a week late, and he didn't even budge and tell me the full price. I thought maybe he'd give me a break, but no. So if you're after May 15th, it's going to cost you $125, or $150 after that. So he's also looking for demonstrators. He's been sending out emails. You probably have seen him if you're on our email list. If you are a demonstrator for him, or would like to demonstrate for him, email him and send him what you would like to do, and open up a conversation with him because he's looking to get as many demonstrators in there as possible. The Lowell Arts has a West Michigan art competition going on. The opening was Thursday night with awards and all that. Me and Steve Lohr both have a piece in that show. Steve Lohr took first place. So he's not here this morning, but yeah, his piece took first place, and he got a lot of kudos there at that show. So he was pretty geeked when I left. Also, the UICA has the Color of the Year award. Their color this year is a form purple. I don't remember the exact number. Steve Lohr also has a piece in there. They only allowed 15 artists, and he was one of them. Their opening night with presentations and awards is April 6th, 5:30 to 9. It's free admission. I think the show goes on for a month or so after that. You can just go on there anytime and check it out. So, but they have a show going on there. If you go there on their opening night when they're doing the presentations, I guess they're doing nails. Purple, you get your fingernails done purple. So. Yeah. Maybe a penny too, I don't know on that. So, anybody who's interested in that, my wife was almost interested and found out we're out of town, so we can't make it. So. Let's see. Our demonstration is going to be, Ray Vandermeer is going to do like a metallic type embellishment on bowls. He's got some here, he's brought some bowls in the past that have that on it, so that's going to be our demonstration. Right now, I would like to do our show and tell. Anybody who's got something and want to talk about it, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but if you want to come up and get in line here, and we'll talk about your piece briefly into the mic, we'll go through show and tell, and then we'll take a break to set up our demonstration, and we'll have a break raffle and everything else.
I thought that.
I will, here. Okay, yeah, I see the grinder coming out, so yeah, if you need to have some tools around, we can do that on the break too. Let's see, I will bring up a couple pieces here. I'll get this all rolling here. When you grab your piece and talk into the mic, state your name. Just like I'm going to do right now. Hi, I'm Doug Brinks. I brought in 2 pieces. I have a, yeah, there's my piece. This is a cherry burl that Ron Campbell gave me a year ago. And I finally got around to turning that, and was really happy with how that turned out. This thing was cracked from down here all the way up around and all the way down the other side. So this top was kind of flapping in the breeze. So I filled it in. My favorite trick is fill it in with coffee and CA glue.
Did you put anything around?
No. Like, once I seen it was flopping, it broke. Because there was just a little bit of bark there. Then I CA glued it and put coffee in there and CA glued it from both sides because I was on the inside when it broke, when it started flopping. So I was able to glue it from both sides, and then I finished it up, but it held together. I was really happy with that.
Did you say coffee?
Coffee, yeah, espresso coffee. I found ground, and I use that in a lot of stuff. I think I might have used it on this one too. If I have a void that I don't like, I think that void right there I didn't like, so I take coffee and I just mash it in there with my thumb, and I drip some thin CA glue on it, and until it's proud, until it's above level, and then I just sand it off, and it looks like cork. So, it's one of my favorite tricks.
What's the finish on that?
Lacquer. This one's got probably 15 coats of lacquer on it.
What did you say that one was there?
This one here, this is Buckeye Burl. This is Cherry Burl. So they both have lacquer on it. This one's got a lot more on it than this one.
Yeah, right.
I bought it from a guy online off Facebook. Yeah, I think he's, I don't know where he's at, but yeah, this piece was I think it was 8 by 4 by 15. So I cut it in half, the other half's back there, and I made two bases out of it. $80. And I think that included shipping, because this is really light. And not like I ordered other burls and they're heavy. Shipping costs as much as the burl, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on down the list here.
Hi, I'm Don Zenas. This is a piece of Mont's Elder, and Brim is African Blackwood. The piece was kind of rough. It was had radial cracking, and then where the growth rings was separating, and so I turned it, and then I filled all the things with epoxy that I could, and turned it again, and then there was still more, and then I used CA glue to do the rest of it, and the color is beautiful. It's I know that's kind of a fugitive color that in light it turns brown, but I'm going to keep it in the dark.
Name's Joe Knopf. I did this walnut thing, but I made the mistake not doing the bottom. And then when I did another bowl, I put it in there with pressure, whatever, and ended up screwing that up. So what I did then is I bought the Ford jar unit where you can adjust it for. Okay, yeah. But it's been too cold in my shop, so I haven't been out there, but eventually I plan to use that, so. But next time I'll know enough to do the bottom.
I'm Gerald the writer. This was a lot bigger when I started. This thing it sat on the lathe, it checked, it cracked, partially disintegrated, and this is what's left. That came after. After one of the pieces hit somebody that was working for me that day.
Still work for you?
If I call her, she does, yeah.
John Barron. This is a piece of spalted maple that I had. Every now and then I get tired of turning round bowls and I kind of head the other direction with them. Use D-Way beading tools. Love them things. They do such a nice job on the edge. And then this is finished with satin wipe on poly. This is a piece of black walnut, believe it or not, that I had a call from a friend that said, hey, I have some black walnut if you want. And of course I bought some. And I get over there to look at it, and there's about this much black in the pith area, and the rest of that log was white. I didn't think I'd do much with it, but it actually turned out pretty nice. And after I had it, I rough turned it back in November. I just finished it up this past week. But when I got to sanding, after I returned it, the dark color from the black area, I think more from the bark probably, got embedded all along the growth rings in areas where it really added some nice contrast to it, I think. So it turned out a lot better than I thought, but it's one of them things that could have wound up in a fire pit or give it a try and see what happens, and I'm pretty pleased with that.
Hi, I'm Mike Ellis. I've been turning probably about a year and a half now. I just spent the last couple of months putting together a hollowing system for myself and used Doug's video instructions and put that together and built myself a boring barn and stuff. So I'm just starting, and I don't know, this is probably the third or fourth piece that I've done. It's a piece of cedar, obviously. It was turned green, and so I see I'm going to have a little more crack repair to do on it eventually when it dries a little more. But what I'm interested in is some advice from those of you who do spend a lot of time hollowing on how to get the inside a little less up and down and get the ridges out. That's kind of what I'm looking for. This is a piece of Osage orange, same thing. It was turned green, and it's going to need a little bit more work too, but it came out pretty well, I think. It's, kind of heavy and clunky in areas still, because I'm still on that steep climb of learning curve area. But so anyway, anybody that's got any tips or hints or advice on what to do on the inside, I'll take some.
Do you have a teardrop cutter or not?
I do, yeah.
That's what I use, a teardrop.
I've got a variety of cutters. I've got a teardrop. This one I think I did mostly with a round carbide, about, I think it's a 1/2 or maybe it's a 5/8 diameter that I went in with. And, I was as patient as I could be.
Yeah, I have a Robert Sorby Swan Neck hand tool, and I put a teardrop on it. And then I reach in, and it'll reach as far as my hand will reach.
Yeah.
Who cares about beyond that,
Well,
so then I get that at an angle, like make it negative and run it up and down, and you can smooth that right out.
I'll try that. The one thing that I was interested in is obviously this one has a large hole in it, And, so that allows you to see down all the way to the bottom. And if there's, if there's any breaks down in this area where you can see on the inside, I thought of that, trying to use a hand tool in there, but it was so deep that, it didn't work well. So anyway.
I think with that void in there, you're probably gonna have an issue anyway, it's gonna bounce on you.
Yeah, it does.
You're not gonna get it.
Did you feel on those ones of mine, when you hit that void, there's a bump in there, because you just can't hardly stop it from bouncing,
Well, good, I'm glad it's happening
Yeah.
to somebody else. Well, it's sort of like the Jameson system, it's a roller behind the back. It's pretty good, it's real heavy duty, but.
My name is Fred Bivens, and I have something not very spectacular in the wood turning area, but I have to tell you that this takes me back to 9th grade machine shop. And, were you the guy that did the talk last week on the tools on the hardening?
Aaron, he's over here.
Where? Oh, there you are. Okay. Thank you. I talked to him during the break last week because I went back to my 9th grade machine shop to hardening tools, and he confirmed that I could do it. And so I'm also, as I said, I'm also a wood engraver and a printmaker. And I'm doing more printmaking workshops at my studio. And what I found teaching printmaking, teaching in linoleum is a whole lot easier than teaching wood engraving. So I've been doing that, but I found that of all of the 100 tools or so that I've purchased over the years to use for printmaking, I didn't have anything small enough. So I've made, over the last month, I've made a series, and I also made an awl, which everybody needs more awls, because I couldn't find one day, and I thought, well, damn, I should make another one. And but the process is easy, and you can upscale it from this. After last week, I went and I used a Matt's gas torch, and I've got an oven that I use I have a dinner every week at my studio, and it's at 450 degrees anyway for a couple of hours because I bake bread, and it worked well for annealing. So anyway, I have 4 different tools here, and I put a photo of them up on the printmaking, the Lino Cut group on Facebook, and I got responses and requests for information from as far away as Queensland. So there is a call for miniature tools. So if you're tired of working, or if like Joe, your wood shop is a little cold like mine is this time of the year, you can go in somewhere else and work on something smaller. So take a look. You can take the corks off, but I did sharpen them, so at your own risk.
My name is Dave Miller. This is the second urn I've ever made. The first one was made out of a flaming box elder, like that. And I had made that for my wife, but my mother passed away a while back, so she ended up getting that one. And I made this one for my wife. And I put a screw in top. But the way I've done this, as I saw it on YouTube, is I used 3-inch PVC. And you put, it's just a clean out for PVC.
You gotta paint it brown.
Huh?
You gotta paint it brown.
Nobody's gonna see it when it's closed. Who's ever in there isn't gonna really care about it. But it works very much like that, because it's just all on. And I told her I've made hers, but she's not allowed to use it for a very long time. I've got to make mine next, and I'm hoping she doesn't want me to use it too soon. And this was another piece of segmenting. I'm just getting into the segmenting and really enjoying it a lot.
Good morning, my name is Jim Blades. I've been turning for about a couple of years now, and one thing I really enjoy about turning, some of the beauty of the wood is This is a piece of Cowro walnut that I got from a friend in California. It's finished in walnut oil. And in our Grand Haven group, I seem to have a growing reputation of proving ways of not to make a bowl and make funnels instead. In fact, John Marquardt just had a demonstration Wednesday night to our group of how to replace or how to repair one of my bowls. So I thought I'd bring one in because it looks halfway decent for a tape. So no bowls.
Good morning, I'm the other Fred Rayner, and brought in a Journey bead box, and Bruce can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think between the two clubs we're halfway there as far as the number.
We are, that makes number 23.
23, so we're halfway there in regards to the number of bead boxes we need to make, so they can start the program. So keep up the good work, everybody, and thank you for looking at it. And it's spalded maple, by the way. It's just a real simple design.
What's the finish?
So, just the simple friction polish. So, thank you.
I'm Pete Vandermeer. I'm still playing with the idea of what you can do with a 10 by 36-inch piece of plywood. That's cool.
Another note with the bead pot, we are trying to get, what do we need, 40 of them?
They wanted 50.
They wanted 50.
And they're guessing 15 a year.
And 15 a year, so we're trying to get to 50 pots. And what the bead pots are, for those who are not familiar, is it's a takeoff from the Beads of Courage. A lot of these hospitals that do children's chemotherapy and stuff like that, leukemia, these kids go through lots and lots of operations and testing, and they get a little bead every time they do one. And they end up with thousands of these beads, so we're making bead pots for them to keep their beads in. And once we have enough to make our first presentation, which we are going to be working with the Brunson Hospital, Kalamazoo. Once we get enough to get it started, then they think we'll probably need 15 a year. That's about how many children that go through there, and that way it won't be so hard to be able to make 15 a year between our two clubs, between us and the Kalamazoo Club. So if you have time, make a bead pot, bring it in. It doesn't have to be a pot, it can be a box. It can be square. You need something with a lid on it that's easy to get off, that's sealed completely. They can't have, it needs to be a cured finish because it's going to kids and stuff, and these kids might have allergies and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we're looking for those. If you bring them in, then what we do is Bruce takes them down to Kalamazoo and he's storing them until we get to 50. And then we're going to make a presentation to the hospital, and then from there we'll be looking, make 1 or 2 a month to keep it going. The Kalamazoo Club, we'll give them a plug. They meet the week before we do. They met last Saturday down in Parchment. Are you guys in Parchment or? Ashland.
And by the way, when you join this club, you're allowed to visit us one free time down there.
So yeah, so if you're interested in making that trip south, I try to get down there when I can. I haven't been very successful lately, but I try to get down there, and so they have a nice club down there too. Yes, Bruce.
There's a benefit to our club. We have heat.
They do have heat. Yeah, if you have tools you want to bring in, we can sharpen them for you. Ken's on the sharpener today. Jeff's on the raffle tickets. Raffles are over here. We have a lot of stuff that you can get off the raffle table. Supplies are back there. Coffee and donuts are out there. Demonstration is going to happen here in about 15 minutes. So take a break, get some coffee.